FREQ. Welcome back, you guys. We have an awesome solo episode today. We're excited to get into it. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things. First off, we're going to talk about Slime Language 2 and how we felt about that. Next up, we're going to talk about our advice for living in LA. And then, what's the last thing?
And then we're going to try the Cacti drink.
The Cacti
We're
drink.
a little late.
Shout out Travis Scott. We're a little late,
yeah.
but we got
But they're on deck out
Pack
here.
came in. LA is flooded with cacti. We're going to give our
I bet you other
review
states
of it.
aren't.
You want to? Yeah, I wonder. I
wonder.
saw it at like Target. So I feel like, okay, if Target has it,
I know,
like,
I saw it
people
at like
are
a
getting
really
it.
mass gas
But yeah,
station,
the
too.
big cities, people got it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
excited to try it.
Yeah,
I heard
I'm
it tastes
super
like
excited.
Four Loko.
I've heard that too, but I wouldn't even know what that tastes like. So I'm excited to just bring my general seltzer perspective.
Yeah.
But let's jump into Slime Language 2. How did you feel about that album? You were saying you liked it.
I really liked it. Like, it made me a little nostalgic of just like 2016 and just like how so much good music was just dropping all the time. Like, just like albums like Cardi and Uzi and even like ASAP and other artists that I would like literally listen to every song and be like, wow, all of these songs are fucking awesome. So, and I haven't heard anything like that since, I don't know, like maybe last year around this time. I mean, not even. Baby Pluto was good. Like really good. So I would say that one's fire, but I don't know. This album just made me feel different. Like, I just really liked every song. The features were really good. I wasn't expecting Drake to be on it, so I'm a big Drake head, and I loved his song on there.
Solid.
And Kid Cudi on there. Oh my God, like that hyped me up. Even like the Travis Scott song, and just you know, just like seeing how Thug put so many artists on.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, a lot of these artists even, like, aren't that big yet. So, like, this is gonna, like, blow them up even more. And he just, like, shows mad love to people that are influenced by him, clearly. And, you know, kind of have that same flow, but also, like, have their own flow too, and that's obviously why he put them on there. But
it's
even
a lot
like
of different generations.
Young KO I was listening to a few years ago, and you know, he's blowing up now, and like the fact that he's with them is like so dope. He's mad young too. But I think he's really talented, and
yeah,
just
it's such a good look.
Coi Leray on there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved that song. And yeah, like I literally like pretty much every song on it, which is like hard for me to say, honestly. I'm very like,
yeah, I think there was
picky.
just like a very high level on this one and across the board, and that is tough for like it's 20 plus songs.
Yeah.
That's tough, but there's just so much going on, right? And I mean, it's mainly about Gunna and Young Thug on this thing, but they definitely passed the ball all over the place.
And there's just different vibes for everybody too. Like there's songs for the girls, like there's songs for the dudes. There's turn up songs. There's like songs you can just smoke to, like songs you could dance to. Now they're doing all these like dances for the songs, which I think is so smart.
Dance.
The ski one, the ski challenge, and I think they're doing one for a different song too. I'm pretty sure I saw someone post something, but I think like the way they're pushing it, and they just dropped the deluxe too. Yeah, which I gotta check out.
I haven't listened to that yet. A lot of drops.
Shit,
today.
like what else can you give us? Like, oh my God, it's so exciting. And then
it's a good time.
You know, Get Fucked Up and That Go, like we heard before, like this dropped, and those were both really good songs. Like Get Fucked Up with that old like DJ Screw type beat, like. I don't know, the vibe of that was just like really cool to me, and just like the way the artists flow together with obviously like their voices are different, like they're definitely influenced by Young Thug, of course, but like the way they all have their own style and flow is like really cool, and how collectively like they flow together.
They make it work. So my question is, are they the hottest group in the rap game?
Shit, I mean, I think they're definitely doing like a lot right now compared to other groups. Like,
I think they're doing
ASAP Mob is definitely
great.
one of my favorite groups, but they haven't really been doing too much. I heard that Cozy Tapes, the new Cozy Tapes, is gonna drop this year.
Oh, okay.
But
I've heard Rocky's working on music as well.
Yeah.
And
but I've just like what YSL's doing, like they're doing like clothes and merch and like the way they're pushing everything. I think like they're definitely one of the hottest right now.
Yeah, and I think the step up from Slime Language 1 to Slime Language 2 is such a big step up. And so what's your favorite song on there? Favorite of them all?
Fuck. So hard. Honestly, I don't even know.
I'll go first.
I think Superstar is like a really good one. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanna be a superstar.
Facts.
Get a lot of money, drive fancy cars. And then he says this line, and it's like he was just saying, like, Young Thug was saying like something about being real. And I liked that a lot. Like, it was just like...
Well, I think that's his reputation, too. Yeah. He's, like, the most solid guy out. Yeah. And he's, like, the new Gucci Mane in a lot of ways. Like, he's the one who everyone, like, looks up to. But also, he's the one, like, providing all this opportunity. Yeah. I think the cosign wasn't really happening for a little bit. Like, ever since, like... the last couple of years, it felt like the cosign was less of a big deal. You can just be this artist that comes out of nowhere and have a good song and like make it happen. But like, I think the cosign's coming back around.
And I think it's like different from signing to like a normal label ran by like people that don't make music, and then like a label with an artist that's been making music and actually has genuine like love for the people that he's working with.
Yeah,
I think that's like a big difference. And I think like if you're gonna sign to a label, like that's something that's important. Like if you want to be real and authentic and like be appreciated for what you do, like I think that's like just such a beautiful opportunity, like all the artists that are part of YSL, because it's just so authentic and it's just like real love, and like you're gonna probably get further in a way than like if you're signed to a label that is just trying to make money off you straight up.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Young Thug knows how to make money. Like he has plenty of like ways he makes money. He has his clothing brand and like all this different shit. So it's like he's not ready
to play the long game. Yeah, the very long game with all his signees. So I think my favorite song was "Proud of You," super hyped league.
Yeah.
Next week, and Young Ko got on it, and he's probably my favorite like new youngin.
When I first heard that song, I was like, I don't really like this. And then T was like, Tori, I love this song. Like it just reminds me of us and our friend group and like how supportive we are of each other, and like that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, word, like, and I listened to it a few more times and I was like, okay, this is growing on me now. I do like it, but I just thought it was like a little corny at first, like Uzi, I am proud of you. Like it was just a little like repetitive for me and like but then like I just thought about it more and like, you know, relating the music more to like your real life and everything.
Well, I think it's really hard now to kind of be, you know, to like be outwardly bigging up anything is kind of like hard. Like you get made fun of for being like a dick rider and all this stuff. And so I like that like, you know, breaks the trend in a lot of ways of like, no, like there's this other like, Young Thug saw Lil Uzi Vert come up from nothing.
Yeah.
I remember their early songs, and it's like, big up another artist. It's all love,
Yeah.
and they've both been on a very long journey and seen each other come a
for
very
real.
long way. So I think that's like
Yeah,
a very
and
sentimental song.
We both went to that show, right?
Which one?
With Young Thug and Uzi.
No.
Oh, you didn't go
Which
to
one
that
did you?
one?
Which one was that?
That was
Wow.
in like 2015 or 16. And it was in Lowell, at the Lowell Auditorium, I think. And yeah, it was Young Thug's show. Uzi opened up, and it was just lit. I'm pretty sure it was this one or another one, but Divine Council opened up, and that's how I got put on to them, and like Icy Twat, and like Icy Twat's one of my favorite producers. But yeah, that show was crazy, and like at that time I wasn't like huge into Young Thug either. Like,
oh, so this was,
I wasn't, and like seeing him perform, I was like, holy fuck, like he's mad talented, and like that's when I started listening to him more.
I think it took a lot of people a lot of time to catch on.
Yeah.
Because I remember like that 2015, 2016 era, Young Thug was kind of hesitating to drop this High Tunes album, and Fetty Wap was just huge, and his album was selling huge, and
Yeah.
300 Entertainment, where Young Thug is signed and is pretty much the flagship artist with Megan Thee Stallion, like he was not that, and so he's just come like a long way. So I'm just happy to see the dividends being paid off for him. But I think we should get into our next topic.
Let's get into it.
Which is all about LA. So kind of set up what we want to talk about.
So first we're gonna talk about how we moved to LA, because me and he both like had different ways of moving out here, and everybody has their own like way of moving somewhere. Like some people want to have so much money saved up, and some people go with like nothing and they make it happen. So it's all about your drive and like what made you get here, and we're going to talk about that, and then just like areas, if you're planning to move to LA, like areas we would recommend, areas we wouldn't recommend, the negatives and positives of everything, and just different things to expect. So do you want to start with your move?
So my move, I drove across the country. I was very like set on doing this, and I thought I'd be doing it in the summer, and this trip didn't happen for me until winter, so I kind of rushed through it more than I would have wanted to, and COVID was still going on pretty heavily, so I had just like long 10-hour driving days. I wanted it to be more of like let me go hang out and check out all these little towns. And I did a little bit of touristing. Denver, I absolutely love downtown Denver. That really stands out. I got to go to Milwaukee and visit a grade school friend of mine, lifelong friend of mine, and that was really fun. But doing it that way, I realized after I looked at like 5 days of like paying for a hotel every night and like eating out is like a very expensive way to go about moving across the country. So unless you really just want to have that experience and make it like a vacation, I wouldn't like
people.
do like that road
like
trip
a whole
vibe. And I talked to a couple of people about doing the drive with me and having them just like come on the drive and then fly back a little later. But because I didn't have like a super set up living situation, it just didn't work out that way. But talk about your experience.
So my experience, I did save up like a good amount of money.
Yeah. So let's talk about what is the minimum you think you should save up, and what is a number where you think like, okay, you'll be comfortable.
So I would say like if you need to buy furniture for your place, like you have to think about all these things, because if you're going to go to like a co-living place, then they'll have like furniture and stuff and you don't have to worry about that. But if you're going to literally like move out here and get right to like finding a place and plan on like buying furniture and, not just furniture, but like, plates and cups and, utensils and towels and like all that shit that you're gonna need.
All that stuff adds up.
It adds up. And then just having like money for your first month, last month, deposit. If your credit's not that good, you have to put that into consideration because you're going to have to drop a bigger deposit or you might not get approved. So make sure your credit is good because that is going to be hard, especially if you're getting your own place, which I did. So if you're moving with somebody else, like it's still going to be like part of the problem because you're going to be on the lease, or if you're not on the lease, then you don't have to worry about it. But, I saved up like $10K to move here, and that's
what T and Kev did as well, too,
and that's
right?
only because I was just making it and had that money, like I was able to save it. So I had no excuses, and I had money blocks and stuff. So like, if I didn't have that much money, I might have like, just put myself down and maybe not believed that I could make it happen. But, that definitely helped me because I didn't have to get a job right away. Like I was comfortable.
That was the comfortable
with, like,
move.
Putting
price.
down I had to put down like $3,000 just to get my place and pay for the first
almost
month.
Anywhere you're gonna do $3,000
at least.
up.
So like I would say come out with at least $5,000.
Right. For sure.
And then just start grinding and like all that. And I shipped my car out here.
Yeah, what
so
company
did
you do that with?
I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
But there's so many, like I looked through like multiple websites. Like there's so many, and like it also depends like how old your car is and what kind of car it is, because they could charge a little more, and if you want it to be covered, it's more money. Like if it's uncovered, it's less money. Like there's all these different things. And also like I put all of my stuff, I didn't bring furniture, but all of my clothes, my shoes, like little things, just whatever things I had, I literally put in my car. So like I didn't have to like get rid of things that I didn't want to or whatever. Like I brought what I really wanted to bring, and I paid a little extra, like $100 extra, to be able to like put more weight in the car. And it was like a smooth process. It was a little like not communicative with the company. Like it was a little sketchy at first. I was kind of freaked out because I was like, all my shit is in the car, and like their communication wasn't that great. But it worked out. But yeah, I would say, save at least $5,000 to comfortably move, but you don't have to do that either. Like if you have the money for rent, or even if like you want to live out of an Airbnb at first until you find a place, or do co-living. Co-living is like super cheap if you're not. Yeah. If you're
so I started with a co-living
with other people.
I did that. I did that for the first 2 months, and that was kind of the way that I was able to go explore different neighborhoods, go shopping. And you meet people right away when you get here, which is like also good, because those are a lot of times like locals or people who've been here a little while, have more experience than you. They can tell you where to go for food and give you like great recommendations on places to check out.
Yeah.
So I like that experience, but then, the co-living, you don't have like any privacy, and it can be kind of tough. You can be in like some like sketchy neighborhoods, and there has to be kind of like a trust between you and your roommates, because every co-living situation is kind of different. So you have to be in a situation where you feel like, okay, these are some strangers that I can put like a little bit of trust in, so you don't feel like, oh man, like stuff is going missing, and then there's suspicion that's split between like a large group. That's a tough situation to be in. Talking about neighborhoods, what are the different neighborhoods for LA specifically that you think somebody just moving here in our like mid-20s age group should look at? So
before I moved here, people recommended K-Town to me, a lot of people, because there's a lot of like college students that live here, and like, a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
And it's just like city-like, it's right next to downtown. And downtown is just like super dirty, and like there's a lot of homeless people.
Right.
It's not that safe.
It's one of the worst downtowns.
Yeah.
For big cities, it's one of the worst.
It's pretty gross and dirty. So I would say, like, unless you have money to get, like, your own parking spot in a garage and, like, pay the rent that they have down there, then I wouldn't really, like, recommend that. But, like, K-Town isn't horrible, but it's also, like, if you're scared of, like, walking around late at night and, like, if it's gonna give you anxiety, then I wouldn't, because it isn't that safe. Like, I have the Citizen app, so I always get notified when shit's going on, and there's always
something going down in
here.
K-Town.
I hear helicopters above my building. There's, like, streets blocked off, like, people trying to, like, find somebody that just stole a car, you know, like, there's just, like, a lot of shit that goes down, but and, like, the parking sucks. That's, like, another thing. Like, you need to find a place that offers, like, parking, because if not, you're going to, like, be moving your car all the time. And my car got hit when it was parked. Like, I would recommend, like, finding a place that offers parking or at least has a garage in the area, because the parking enforcement out here does not fucking play. Even in the middle of a pandemic, they will give you a $90 ticket for parking somewhere that has 2-hour parking, and you went over that.
So we've been here less than a year. How many tickets have you gotten?
I've gotten at least, like, 5 tickets.
I've gotten 3 tickets.
Yeah.
And then
that
I was
like
talking
$200+.
T said she got, like,
more than
both of us. Yeah.
She's gotten so many, and
it's rough.
Her area does not, she's in K-Town too, they do not have garages around there either. So,
but one thing I would say is that most of the apartment buildings do have, like, on-site parking.
Yeah.
If you're in an apartment situation.
So that's definitely something to look out for. And, like, when you're looking for a place to, like, you know, I looked on Zillow, apartments.com, like, all of those different things. And
I looked
on
Craigslist, actually.
Craigslist?
I found mine through Craigslist, both of mine.
Yeah, like, there's all different ways to find a place, and then, like, don't just, like, go and see the place and be like, okay, this is it. Like, look into, like, Google reviews, like, because that's where you see, like, the real shit that's going on. Like, the person that's showing you the place is always going to tell you all the great things and try to just sell it to you. But you need to, like, be smart and look into, like, Google reviews. Like, one of the first places I looked at was in K-Town, and it was, like, pretty nice. But then I looked up the reviews, and mad people were like, oh, yeah, homeless people just come in here and sleep in the halls, and, like, there's bed bugs and roaches or whatever. So, like, that's something to look into. And also just, like, you know, just look around. Don't just, like, settle for whatever you find.
Yeah, what are a couple other neighborhoods? So I was thinking Van Nuys is also, like, kind of an affordable neighborhood. It's on the other side of the hills. What are some other neighborhoods? Van
Nuys is nice, but I thought about moving there at first, but it's also far.
Very far.
It's
far. It's not, like, central.
If you are planning to work in LA and, like, get gigs in LA, I would not
have, like,
recommend
an hour
going to
commute,
Van Nuys, because you would
probably,
have at least
in
an
traffic.
Hour commute with traffic. Exactly. Like,
which there's a traffic at prime time hours.
That's pretty far. So, like, there's so many different, like, parts of LA. That's what I didn't really understand at first.
It's sprawling,
like,
yeah.
There's Culver City, Mid-City, like, that area is, like, more west, and, like, more, like, it's not so loud and noisy, like, around K-Town and stuff.
And also,
but it is a little more expensive.
I like Pasadena, which is nice and quiet and more, like, family oriented, I would say. But yeah, what you were saying, Culver City, a little more expensive. There's a spot right near there, Inglewood. I was recommended Inglewood because these spots are all kind of, like, close to downtown LA, close to Fairfax and Melrose, but not too far.
Inglewood's cheap, but it's not that safe.
Correct.
Either.
Yeah.
Like,
and so
you're
always
be careful.
It's
like,
always
especially
going to be
if
a
you're
balance.
a woman, like, you know, you really got to be safe. Have a fucking taser on you. Like, I got a taser when I moved out here. And, you know, just be aware of your surroundings and, like, you know, if you're not worried and like attracting that energy, then like you should be good. But you know, you just got to be aware of your surroundings. Like, I'm a DJ and gonna be like DJing all summer, and I have to park a block and a street down in this garage, and once I walk out of the garage, I have all these homeless tents and, you know, vans of people that are just living there. And as a woman, I don't feel that safe. But that's like something that's like, you know, next place I get, I'm definitely going to be somewhere safer where I have like a parking spot that I'm not like worried about anything happening to me. And like, you know, that's like something I'm seeing more and more people like moving out of here because they're saying it's dangerous and like all this shit. And, you know, it's like there's danger everywhere at the end of the day. It's really about like just being aware of your surroundings and, you know, just looking into whatever makes you feel comfortable too. Like, I had a nightmare about somebody breaking into my apartment, and I'm like, like maybe that's a sign that
you don't want to live like that. You don't want to live with that
anxiety.
On you.
So, you know, just depending on your budget, that's where you're gonna kind of figure out where you want to live in LA at first. Like the more east and like south you go, it's cheaper. The more like west you go, it's more expensive.
Because that's closer to the water, closer to the ocean.
Yeah. So, and it just depends how you live. Like if you're fine with living in a tiny ass apartment and like you can live like that, then do it. If you're more comfortable having your own space that needs to be a little more spacious, then like look into that, you know? Like my place is like a perfect size for myself. Like it's not too small. I saw like smaller apartments than this when I was looking, and working from home, I need like a cozy ass space. So that's something that was like important to me. And just like little things, like if you want like a garbage disposal, if you want a bathtub, if you want like somewhere without roaches, like, you know, you really got to like look into all the little details of that.
Yeah, my current apartment actually has a spider issue, and it's kind of a seasonal one, but the spiders are out right now.
I have a fucking roach issue here.
Yeah, I've seen them.
It's just like an old building, so like they're just crawling in the walls, and like I am super clean, never lived with roaches, and it freaks me out, it grosses me out. And thankfully I don't see like a lot in my apartment. Like I'll see one here and there, but and I'm gonna actually get an exterminator, but I don't see that helping. Like my neighbors literally have lived here for 10 years. They said like, yeah, the exterminator will work for like 2 months and then they'll be back. 'Cause they just literally crawl through these tiny holes that are just in the wall that they don't like cover up and stuff. And they've been living longer than us, so they're not going anywhere.
They're the residents. Well, I used to live in New York, so I am used to like a very tiny apartment and seeing like mice everywhere. So I just guess I'm built for it.
Yeah.
But should we try out the cacti? Yes. You want to grab that? Okay, so it's 3 flavors. Every box comes with
Pineapple?
9. Yeah, so 3 of strawberry, 3 of lime, 3 of pineapple. And we're going to give this a try.
I like the packaging, first of all.
I like the packaging.
Logo.
I thought the marketing was pretty good with this too.
Yeah,
like he had a cool
like,
rollout.
I saw some like posters in LA.
It's definitely being advertised in LA. Which one are you starting with?
I'll probably do pineapple.
Okay, I'll do strawberry for sure. Is that in the way back? Okay, thank you.
7% alcohol. That's pretty.
That,
that's a high percentage for like a
seltzer, right?
Yeah, for a seltzer. That's
like a beer would
high.
be 8, 9.
No,
What's
beers
a beer?
are like 3%, aren't they?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're like 3% or something. So 7 is like pretty high. I don't know
Loaded.
how much is in like a Four Loko. Also, I love how this is all like natural. It says it's made 100% premium blue agave from Mexico and natural flavors for a refreshing, bold taste.
It's lit.
So that's really cool. And it doesn't have much sugar.
Whoops.
Whoop.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Do we have paper towel?
Yeah.
My bad. I actually do that a lot, which is kind of funny.
Me too. I'll be drinking
Like,
and spill it
just
on
be
my
like-
face.
How stupid are you?
And there's only 3 grams. Oh wait, no, less than a gram of sugar, which is like rare for like one of these like soft drinks.
Right. Usually it's like
Usually they have
has,
mad
like,
sugar.
as much sugar as a soda.
So okay.
All right,
let's try
chin
it. Oh,
Oh my god. All
My
right,
bad.
that one's a
I think these are a little too filled up here. I def get the Four Loko vibe.
I def get the tastes alcoholic. Like sometimes you can't really
Yeah.
tell with a seltzer. This one you can very much tell.
I actually like this a lot more than like regular seltzers though. I'm not a big seltzer fan at all.
Me neither.
And it's crazy because I've always liked seltzer water.
Okay.
So like and I like vodka. So the fact that I
But
don't
together,
like, I'm
you're
not
into
crazy about vodka seltzer. Like, I don't know. But this gives me more of like a juice like taste than like a regular seltzer. Like it has like, it tastes like it's mixed with juice.
Yeah. Yeah, this kind of like, I guess this would be the agave would be the juice.
Which probably, yeah, exactly. And I like how they're different on both of these.
Do you kind of get like a mimosa vibe?
Colors.
Yeah, you can show the camera.
Different colors. Mimosa? No, not really.
Not as much. What do you think of kind of artists stepping into this product role where they used to kind of just take brand deals from a big brand and now it's like, let's just make a brand from the ground up?
I think it's dope. I mean, there's just so many ways we can make money ourselves now, and it's like, why limit yourself and only do what like you know how to do best? It's like once you have money and like connections, it's so easy to just start your own. No, I'm sure it's not that easy, but you know, it's easier to start your own off-brand things
And make bigger plays, yeah.
and make bigger plays and like be able to just have that money for yourself. You know, it's not like going to these big companies. They're not using you for your clout or anything. So yeah, I think it's really cool.
Okay, so final review. What do you give the Cacti spiked seltzer in the realm of spiked seltzers? What do you rate it 1 out of 10?
Honestly, I'll give it like a 9 because
I'm also tempted to give it like a 9. Like there's very little
Yeah.
drawback. This is very good.
It is good. It's like sometimes I have a hard time like drinking seltzers too. Like sometimes they're like a little too fizzy for me to like take a big sip of, and like I like sip like big gulps, you know? So like if it's too fizzy and like making me burp or whatever, like I don't like that, and making you like mad bloated. And I don't know, I feel like this wouldn't make me feel as bloated, and it's probably because there's more alcohol than seltzer, which is cool. Because, you know, you can drink like probably 2 of these and feel nice and not have to drink like 4 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I fuck with it though.
Awesome.
Good job, Trev.
Me too. And
Do
so
your
I
thing.
think, I think that's it for our episode today.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out. I think something I wanted to mention, I definitely want to review Michigan Boat, Lil Yachty's new album next week.
We'll
so let's
do that
definitely
next week.
do that next week. We'll both listen to it extensively. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Tune in next week.
Peace.